For many fans, Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman was more than just a TV show, it was a window into the past, filled with warmth, adventure, and unforgettable characters. But as time has moved on, we have sadly lost some of the talented actors who brought this beloved series to life. Their performances touched our hearts and left a lasting mark on television history. In this tribute, we honor 12 cast members who are no longer with us, remembering their contributions and the legacy they left behind. Orson Bean played the character Loren Bray in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman from 1993. Despite his charming presence on screen, his personal life was filled with hardship. He endured the tragic loss of his mother, who died by suicide when he was just a teenager, leaving him with emotional wounds that never truly healed. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, leading to a strained relationship with his children. Though he remarried, his later years were marked by financial troubles, forcing him to sell off assets, including a beloved vacation home. His role as Loren Bray kept him in the public eye, but after the show ended, he struggled to find major acting roles, leading to depression. He lived in a modest home in Venice, California, and drove an old sedan in his later years. His estate was valued at approximately $1 million at the time of his passing. He tragically died on February 7, 2020, at the age of 91 after being struck by a car. Georgianne Johnson portrayed Elizabeth Quinn in the series starting in 1993. A graceful actress with decades of experience, she faced profound personal grief throughout her life. She lost her husband after a long battle with illness, and the emotional toll was immense. The pain of losing loved ones haunted her, as she had also buried a sibling in her youth. Though she continued to act after Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, roles became scarce, and she withdrew from the public eye. She lived in Los Angeles in a modest home, though financial difficulties forced her to downsize in her later years. She had children, but her declining health strained her relationship with them, as they struggled to care for her. At the time of her passing, her estate was valued at around $1 million. She died on June 4, 2018, at the age of 91, though the cause of death was never publicly disclosed. Larry Sellers portrayed Cloud Dancing in the series starting in 1993. A proud Native American actor, Sellers often spoke of the struggles of indigenous performers in Hollywood, feeling typecast and underappreciated despite his talent. His personal life was equally turbulent. He experienced a painful divorce that left him financially drained. He had children but lost contact with one of them due to family conflicts. After Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, his acting opportunities dwindled, forcing him to take jobs outside the industry, including working as a historical consultant to make ends meet. His home in Pawhuska, Oklahoma, was small, and he drove an older pickup truck. By the time of his passing, his estate was valued at approximately $500,000. He died on December 9, 2021, at the age of 72, though the cause of death was never publicly disclosed. Nick Ramus played Black Kettle in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman from 1993. His life was a story of perseverance but also great sorrow. He battled health issues for years, including heart disease, which limited his ability to work in his later life. His career never reached the heights he had hoped for, and despite his powerful performance in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, he was often overlooked by Hollywood. A failed business venture left him in financial ruin, forcing him to sell his home and move into a smaller house in Benson, Arizona. He was married once, but the relationship ended in heartbreak when his wife left him during his health struggles. He had one child, but they had a strained relationship due to his absence during key moments in their life. He drove an old SUV and had little to his name in his final years, with an estate valued at around $300,000. He passed away on May 30, 2007, at the age of 77 due to heart failure. Richard Mall played the character John in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman in 1994, a small but memorable role in a career filled with eclectic performances. Best known for his work in Night Court, Mall's booming voice and towering presence often led to typecasting, limiting his opportunities. Off-screen, his personal life was less stable. 2 failed marriages left him disillusioned with love, and he became increasingly reclusive in his later years. He owned a modest mountain retreat in Big Bear Lake, California, where he withdrew from Hollywood life. Financial mismanagement and inconsistent acting gigs meant that, despite a long career, his estate was relatively modest. He passed away on October 26, 2023, at the age of 80. The cause of death was not publicly disclosed, but reports suggest he had been battling health issues for years. His estate, valued at approximately $2 million, primarily consisted of his home and personal memorabilia. Johnny Cash played Kid Cole in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman from 1993. His portrayal of the aging gunslinger seeking redemption resonated deeply with fans, mirroring his own struggles with addiction and faith. The role briefly revitalized his acting career, but personal demons continued to haunt him. His decades-long battle with substance abuse strained his marriages, particularly his first one, which ended in a bitter divorce. Though he found stability with June Carter Cash, their relationship was not without turmoil, especially as health issues plagued them both. Cash owned multiple properties, including a lakefront home in Tennessee, a collection of vintage Cadillacs, and an archive of priceless music memorabilia. However, his declining health led to extensive medical expenses. He passed away on September 12, 2003, at the age of 71 due to complications from diabetes. At the time of his death, his estate was valued at approximately $100 million, later subject to legal disputes among heirs. June Carter Cash portrayed Sister Ruth in the series starting in 1993, embodying a woman of faith much like herself. While her career flourished alongside Johnny Cash, her personal life was marked by heartbreak and sacrifice. Her first two marriages ended in sorrow, leaving her with a lingering sense of guilt and responsibility. Though she and Cash shared an iconic love story, their union faced its trials, particularly during his relapses. Despite the outward image of stability, she often struggled with the weight of being his emotional anchor. Financially, she accumulated wealth through her music and estate holdings, which included homes in Nashville and Virginia. However, years of stress took their toll, and she underwent heart surgery in 2003. She passed away on May 15, 2003, at the age of 73 due to complications from the procedure. Her estate, valued at approximately $10 million, was later merged with Johnny Cash's, continuing to generate revenue posthumously. Stacy Keach Sr. played Judge Webster in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman in 1996. A respected character actor, he spent decades in Hollywood, but success never brought him lasting happiness. His marriage to Mary Kane, which lasted over 50 years, was filled with turmoil, largely due to financial struggles and his bouts of depression. His son, actor Stacy Keach Jr., became more famous, which secretly left him feeling overshadowed. The weight of regret haunted him in his later years, as he admitted that he had prioritized work over family, leaving deep emotional scars. One of his greatest tragedies was losing a close friend to suicide, an event that left him questioning his own purpose. Another blow came when he suffered a stroke in the late 1990s, which took away his ability to act. At the time of his death, Stacy Keach Sr. had a modest estate, including a house in Burbank, California, and a few personal vehicles. His estate was valued at approximately $1.5 million. He passed away on February 13, 2003, at the age of 88 due to congestive heart failure. Dennis Lipscomb played President Ulysses S. Grant in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman in 1994. A character actor who never quite reached mainstream fame, Lipscomb struggled with self-doubt throughout his career. His marriage was short-lived, ending in divorce after just a few years, and he never remarried. His inability to sustain meaningful relationships weighed heavily on him, leading to long bouts of isolation. One of the most devastating moments of his life came when a film he had poured his heart into was shelved indefinitely, crushing his hopes of finally getting recognition. Another tragedy came when he lost his savings in a failed investment, forcing him to live modestly in his later years. At the time of his death, he owned a small home in Los Angeles, California, and a few personal vehicles. His estate was valued at approximately $1 million. He passed away on July 30, 2014, at the age of 72. The cause of death was not publicly disclosed. Pamela Kosh, a character actress known for her minor yet memorable roles, began her career in 1993, portraying Martha in various television series. Though she never achieved household name status, Kosh built a solid reputation for her ability to bring warmth and relatability to every character she played, often portraying supportive figures who enriched the narratives. Despite her professional success, her personal life was marked by solitude. She never married and lived a private life, rarely sharing her personal struggles. Kosh's career, while steady, was followed by a quiet retirement from acting, with little fanfare surrounding her life outside of work. She passed away on May 4, 2022, at the age of 93, with a modest estate and no direct heirs, leaving behind a legacy cherished by those who knew her in the industry. George Firth portrayed Jedediah Bancroft in the series starting in 1993. Known for his work as a playwright and character actor, Firth had an intellectual brilliance that often alienated him from those around him. He never married, and despite a successful career, he lived a largely solitary life. His closest relationships were often platonic, and his struggles with loneliness were evident in his later years. One of his deepest regrets was never finding a life partner, a topic he rarely discussed openly. He battled lung cancer in silence, refusing to let anyone see his suffering. Another heartbreak in his life came when a longtime collaborator and friend distanced themselves from him. Though financially stable, he lived simply, owning a home in Santa Monica, California, where he spent most of his time alone. His estate, valued at around $2 million, was left to a few charitable causes. He passed away on August 11, 2008, at the age of 75 due to complications from lung cancer. Gregory Sierra played General Eli Parker in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman in 1994. His career was marked by numerous television roles, but despite his talent, he never achieved leading man status, often being typecast in supporting roles. His personal life was filled with heartbreak. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, with his wife accusing him of neglect due to his relentless work schedule. They had one son, but their relationship was strained, and he rarely saw him in later years. One of the great tragedies of his life was the sudden loss of his younger brother in a car accident, which haunted him for decades. In his later years, he battled financial instability, eventually settling in a modest home in Laguna Woods, California. His estate, valued at around $3 million, consisted mainly of his house and a few sentimental belongings. He passed away on January 4, 2021, at the age of 83 due to cancer. Edward Albert portrayed Dr. William Burke in the series starting in 1993. A gifted actor and musician, he carried the weight of his famous father's legacy, which led to constant comparisons that frustrated him. His marriage to Catherine Woodville was loving, but the burden of his father's declining health and his own battles with lung cancer placed enormous strain on their relationship. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of his life was watching his father, Eddie Albert, succumb to Alzheimer's, a process that emotionally drained him. Another devastating moment came when he was diagnosed with cancer, knowing that he would not live to see his daughter grow up. Despite his struggles, he remained dedicated to his family until the very end. He owned a home in Malibu, California, where he spent his final days. His estate was valued at around $5 million. He passed away on September 22, 2006, at the age of 55 due to lung cancer. Jane Seymour portrayed Dr. Michaela Quinn in the series starting in 1993, a role that redefined her career. Despite professional success, her personal life has been turbulent. She has been married and divorced 4 times, with each marriage ending in heartbreak. Her third husband, David Flynn, was unfaithful, causing emotional distress and leading to a costly divorce. Her fourth marriage to James Keach also ended in divorce, amid rumors of infidelity. She has 4 children, including twins, but balancing motherhood and career was a lifelong struggle. One of her deepest regrets was losing a close friend to suicide, an event that left a lasting scar. Another tragedy was the financial crisis she faced when an investment went wrong, causing her to sell off properties. Despite setbacks, she rebuilt her wealth, now owning luxurious homes in Malibu and England, with a net worth estimated at $90 million. At 74 years old, she remains active in the entertainment industry. Sean Tovey portrayed Brian Cooper in the series starting in 1993. Unlike many child stars, he avoided the usual pitfalls of Hollywood but struggled to maintain a career in the industry. After Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, acting opportunities became scarce, leading him to shift away from entertainment. His personal life remained relatively private, but he faced difficulties adapting to a life outside of the limelight. A tragic turning point came when his father passed away unexpectedly, leaving him emotionally shattered. Another low point was when a business venture failed, causing him significant financial loss. He now resides in Omaha, Nebraska, living a quiet life with his family. His estate, including a home and a few personal investments, is valued at around $1 million. At 41 years old, he has mostly stepped away from public life. Joe Lando played Byron Sully in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman from 1993. The role made him a heartthrob, but he struggled with being typecast, leading to a slow career decline. He married Kirsten Barlow, and they have 4 children, but their marriage faced difficulties, particularly due to financial struggles and his inconsistent career. At one point, he considered leaving acting altogether after facing repeated rejections in Hollywood. One of the most painful moments of his life was the loss of a close friend to a drug overdose, making him wary of the industry's darker side. Another setback was an accident on set that left him with a severe injury, forcing him into a long recovery period. Today, he lives a relatively quiet life with his family in Los Angeles, with a modest estate valued at approximately $3 million. At 63 years old, he continues to act occasionally but has largely retreated from the spotlight. William Shockley played Hank Lawson in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman from 1993. His role as the antagonistic saloon owner was a standout, but it also led to typecasting, limiting his opportunities for more diverse roles. His career hit a snag as he struggled with his personal life, experiencing several failed relationships and engagements. One major life event that deeply affected him was a severe car accident in his 40s, which left him with lingering pain and physical limitations. Despite the hardships, William made savvy financial decisions, investing wisely in real estate and building a comfortable lifestyle. He owns a chic home in Los Angeles and a few luxury vehicles, with his estate currently valued at around $2 million. Although he remains unmarried and has no children, he finds joy in occasional acting roles and personal projects. Now 61 years old, William continues to stay active in the entertainment industry. Chad Allen played Matthew Cooper in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman starting in 1993. The role made him a familiar face in homes across America, but behind the scenes, Chad faced difficult challenges. Struggling with the pressures of fame, he was publicly outed as gay in the late 1990s, which led to a period of career stagnation as he lost roles due to Hollywood's reluctance to embrace openly gay actors at the time. This setback fueled personal issues, including substance abuse and isolation. His romantic relationships were often troubled, and he never married, though he had a long-term partner. After stepping back from acting, Chad shifted focus to advocacy work for the LGBTQ+ community and a career in psychology. Financially, Chad managed to stay stable with investments in real estate, including a home in West Hollywood, and his estate is valued at approximately $2 million. At 50 years old, Chad has found peace in his private life, focusing on personal growth and therapy work. Jim Knobelo portrayed Jake Slicker in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman starting in 1993. The rugged yet gentle character brought him recognition, but Jim struggled with his personal and professional life after the show ended. His marriage to Dr. Quinn creator Beth Sullivan ended in a contentious divorce, which drained his finances and emotional well-being. He also dealt with a period of severe depression, largely due to the loss of acting opportunities. Hoping for a fresh start, Jim moved to Australia, but the new environment didn't bring the breakthrough he hoped for. In his later years, he suffered from various health issues, including chronic pain from a past accident. He remains unmarried and has no children. His current lifestyle is modest, living in a simple home in Melbourne. Despite his struggles, he managed to maintain a few valuable assets, with his estate currently valued at around $1 million. Now at 74 years old, Jim is largely out of the public, preferring a quieter life away from the limelight. Jeffrey Lower played Reverend Timothy Johnson in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman from 1993, embodying the compassionate but conflicted town preacher. The role gave him steady work, but after the show ended, he struggled to escape its shadow. Typecast as a moralistic figure, acting opportunities dwindled, and financial instability followed. His personal life was equally rocky. His marriage ended in a quiet but painful divorce, leaving him emotionally drained and hesitant to re-enter the dating scene. Though he once owned a comfortable home in Los Angeles, mounting financial pressures forced him to downsize. He now lives in a modest residence, with few material possessions beyond a reliable car and memories of a career that never reached its full potential. His estate is currently valued at approximately $1 million, a far cry from Hollywood wealth. At 61, he lives a private life, occasionally appearing at fan conventions, where he is reminded of the role that both made and trapped him. Frank Collison portrayed Horace Bing in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman starting in 1993. His portrayal of the kind-hearted, albeit troubled, Horace mirrored his own life struggles. Frank faced significant personal challenges after the show, including the breakdown of his marriage, which left him emotionally and financially drained. His relationship with his children became strained, leading to a period of estrangement, which was heartbreaking for him. Professionally, Frank struggled to find prominent roles post-Dr. Quinn, and he faced financial instability for a period of time. He has since battled health issues, including diabetes, which has led to a more frugal lifestyle. Frank now lives in a modest home in Los Angeles and maintains a simple life, with his estate valued at approximately $1.5 million. At 74 years old, Frank stays out of the spotlight, occasionally taking on smaller acting roles, but mainly enjoys his quieter life. Joan L. Allen portrayed Grace in the series starting in 1993, bringing warmth and resilience to her role as the town's beloved cafe owner. While the show granted her visibility, Hollywood's racial biases limited her career progression, leaving her with sporadic roles but no major breakthroughs. Behind the scenes, she endured two painful divorces, one marked by emotional neglect, the other by financial betrayal. She longed for children but never had any, a lingering sorrow that deepened with age. Though she once owned a beautiful home in Los Angeles, a series of poor financial decisions led to its sale. Now 76, she resides in a smaller home, with few luxuries but a lifetime of unfulfilled dreams. Her estate, valued at around $1 million, consists primarily of personal belongings and a modest savings. She remains active in theater, mentoring young actors, though the industry that once celebrated her has largely moved on. Henry G. Sanders played Robert E. in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman from 1993, bringing depth to the role of a formerly enslaved man forging a new life as a blacksmith. The role was a career-defining moment, but as Hollywood moved on, substantial roles became scarce. Despite decades in the industry, financial security always eluded him. His personal life was marked by tragedy. His first wife passed away suddenly, leaving him to raise their children alone. Though he remarried, the scars of loss never truly healed, and the marriage ended in quiet separation. Now 82, he lives in a simple home in Los Angeles, his estate valued at approximately $1 million. His health has begun to decline, and while he remains proud of his contributions to the industry, he often wonders what more could have been achieved in a world with fewer limitations. Jessica Bowman, who took over the role of Colleen Cooper on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman in 1995 after Erica Flores left, initially found herself struggling to fill the shoes of her predecessor. Despite the challenges of joining a successful show mid-run, Jessica's portrayal of Colleen helped her establish a strong presence, though she later found it difficult to break out of the wholesome roles that followed. Her personal life was also marred by a tumultuous engagement and the emotional strain of family issues that led to isolation. Professionally, she had a series of minor roles after the show ended but never reached the heights of fame she had hoped for. Now 44 years old, Jessica resides in Walnut Creek, California, where she lives in a modest home valued around $1 million. While she keeps a low profile, she stays involved in private projects and cherishes the quiet life she has built away from the spotlight. Barbara Babcock portrayed Dorothy Jennings in the series starting in 1993, giving life to the outspoken, independent journalist of Colorado Springs. Despite a celebrated career, her personal life carried deep wounds. She married once, but the union was fraught with infidelity, leading to a bitter divorce. She never remarried, finding solace in her career rather than in love. As she aged, health complications arose, limiting her ability to work and forcing her into an increasingly isolated lifestyle. Though she resides in a picturesque home in Carmel, California, the grandeur of her surroundings contrasts with the solitude she feels. Now 87, her estate is valued at around $2 million, a reflection of her past successes rather than her present reality. Time has taken its toll, and she faces the later years of her life reflecting on triumphs and regrets in equal measure. Brandon Douglas played Dr. Andrew Cook in the series starting in 1996. Although his character was a promising young doctor, his own career in Hollywood began to fade after the show ended. Struggling to find major roles, he transitioned into a quieter life away from the spotlight. His personal life has been marked by difficulties. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, with his wife accusing him of emotional neglect. He has 2 children, but the custody battle was grueling, leaving him financially strained. One of the greatest tragedies of his life was the sudden passing of his mother, which sent him into a deep depression. Another devastating moment came when a fire destroyed a significant portion of his home, causing irreparable damage to his personal memorabilia. Today, he lives a modest life in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, with his estate valued at approximately $1 million. At 56 years old, he remains out of the public eye, occasionally making appearances at fan conventions. John Schneider portrayed Daniel Simon in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman starting in 1993. Though widely known for his earlier role in The Dukes of Hazzard, this show allowed him to showcase a more mature and dramatic side. However, his personal life has been filled with heartbreak. His first marriage ended in divorce, and his second wife, Alicia Elaine, tragically passed away after a battle with cancer, leaving him devastated. Financial troubles have also plagued him. He was once forced to sell off properties to cover mounting debts. One of the lowest points of his life came when he was briefly jailed due to unpaid alimony, a moment that shattered his public image. Another painful chapter was the estrangement from one of his children, a wound that has never fully healed. Despite these hardships, he continues to work in the entertainment industry, owning multiple properties and a collection of classic cars. His net worth is estimated at around $10 million. At 64 years old, he remains active but carries the weight of personal loss. Jason Leland Adams, who played the suave Preston at Lodge 3 on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman starting in 1994, faced a complicated career trajectory after the show. Although his character was memorable, Jason struggled to find significant roles afterward, with many of his opportunities in acting drying up. Seeking to reinvent himself, he transitioned to stage production, but his personal life faced setbacks as well. His divorce was painful, and the strain it put on his relationship with his children affected him deeply. Financial difficulties further compounded the emotional challenges, including a failed business that left him struggling to stay afloat. Now 61 years old, Jason lives in Los Angeles, where he owns a comfortable home valued at around $2 million. Though he stays away from acting, Jason remains active in the industry, focusing on production and stage work, and lives a quieter life with less public attention. Helene Udy, known for her role as Myra Bing on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, had a dynamic but challenging career after the show. Myra's dramatic transformation from a saloon girl to a more prominent character was widely praised, but Helene struggled to find substantial work following her time on the series. She faced significant personal challenges, including a difficult breakup and the death of a close friend that affected her emotionally. These hardships were compounded by financial instability as she navigated life outside the limelight. At 62, Helene lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where she owns a modest home and has shifted her focus toward more personal endeavors. Though she remains out of the public eye, her estate is valued at approximately $1 million, and she occasionally works on creative projects that bring her peace. Erica Flores, who portrayed Colleen Cooper from 1993 to 1995, made the difficult decision to leave Dr. Quinn at the height of its popularity, a move that had lasting consequences on her career. While she initially found some acting opportunities, she struggled with being typecast and experienced long periods without roles. Erica's personal life was equally tumultuous, marked by a heartbreaking breakup and the loss of her mother, which sent her into a period of depression and personal reflection. Financial difficulties followed, with Erica experiencing a failed business venture that drained her savings. At 45, Erica now lives in Grass Valley, California, where she enjoys a quieter life away from the public eye. She owns a modest home, and her estate is valued at around $1 million. Although she is no longer pursuing an acting career, Erica finds fulfillment in focusing on personal growth and spending time with loved ones. Gail Strickland played Olive Davis in the series starting in 1993. While she was a respected character actress, she never achieved the mainstream recognition she had hoped for. Her personal life has been lonely, she never married, and despite a few serious relationships, she struggled to find long-term companionship. One of the great sorrows of her life was a health scare in her 50s, which led to ongoing medical issues that forced her to step away from acting. Another heartbreaking moment was losing her closest friend to a sudden illness, leaving her feeling isolated in her later years. Financially, she was never a major star, and while she lives comfortably, she never amassed great wealth. She currently resides in Birmingham, Alabama, in a quiet home filled with personal memories rather than extravagant luxuries. Her estate is valued at approximately $1 million. Now at 79 years old, she lives a reclusive life, rarely making public appearances. Alex Menezes portrayed Teresa Morales in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman starting in 1997. Unlike many of her co-stars, she found moderate success in Hollywood but never quite broke into the A-list. She was married once, but the relationship ended in a painful divorce, with her husband accusing her of prioritizing her career over family. They had one daughter, whom she has tried to shield from the harshness of the entertainment industry. One of the most painful experiences of her life was being the victim of a financial scam that cost her a significant portion of her savings. Another devastating blow was the unexpected passing of her father, an event that left her emotionally shattered. Despite these challenges, she has maintained a stable life, owning a home in Los Angeles, California, along with a few personal vehicles. Her estate is valued at around $2 million. At 60 years old, she continues to work in the industry but remains cautious about fame and its pitfalls. Who's your favorite character from Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman? How does it make you feel knowing that some beloved cast members are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear from you. If you're enjoying our videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for being part of our community.